Hello, I am Lukas Strittmatter from EFZ Recht und Steuern. Since the 1st of January 2017, we are talking seriously when it comes to automatic exchange of information between countries. I will show you how it works and what action you should take if it does affect you, and why this year is so important for you. What is the automatic exchange of information? More than 100 countries have agreed on the automatic exchange of information. Amongst them are all 28 countries of the European Union and since 2017 also Switzerland. Since its ratification, more and more countries are implementing the agreement. On my website you can find updated information on which countries are actively applying the agreement with Switzerland. This means that banks, insurance companies and investment entities have to report all capital income as well as account balances of non-resident customers, both individuals and entities alike, to their domestic administration. This country, for instance Italy, will pass the information onto the account holder's country of residence, for instance Switzerland. He is liable for taxation, regardless of whether he is a Swiss or a foreign citizen. Within Switzerland, this task is done by the Swiss Federal Tax Administration (EStV). It passes the reports of all financial institutions onto the foreign countries, and it receives reports on Swiss financial assets from abroad, thus information on capital income and account balances from other countries. The cantonal tax offices have access to this data. Cantonal tax offices compare the data from abroad with that one given by you in your tax return. And if tax offices are informed, let's say about a bank account abroad, they will look further into this matter and will receive more information about you from the other country, for example about real estate. There will be a thorough investigation. What does this mean for you? Do you have any financial assets abroad which you have not declared to the tax authorities until to date? A bank account, any fund assets, maybe real estate? Did you as a private person receive any money, securities or properties in a foreign country, for example from your parents? Or did you as a company invest in real estate, securities or investment funds in foreign countries? Or did you deposit money abroad? Maybe you invested in art, precious metals, diamonds or classic cars? In that case, it is now, and only now, the right and unique moment to act and declare the assets without being penalized. Now, there is still a chance for a one-off tax amnesty. However, when tax authorities receive reports from abroad by end of September, this chance will be over. With those countries which are implementing the AEOI, you will have the chance for a penalty-free voluntary disclosure until the end of September in most cantons. So, should you own any capital or assets abroad or in Switzerland which were not yet included in your tax return, you should get my professional advice on the possibilities of a penalty-free voluntary disclosure and how to definitely rectify your tax situation. How does it work with your penalty-free voluntary disclosure? We can discuss this in detail once I read through your personal documentation. Basically, you will have to face tax arrears and default interest. However, and this is crucial, you will not be penalized. That means that after a voluntary disclosure, you will be treated like an honest taxpayer. But the rules are also very clear. There will only be no prosecution if the tax evasion has not yet been reported to the tax authorities. You shall support local tax authorities in the detailed clarification. You will pay the corresponding tax arrears or make the strong effort to do so. And, very important, in Switzerland, this kind of penalty-free voluntary disclosure can only be done once in a lifetime. What happens if you don't react now? then the matter becomes really expensive. When Swiss tax authorities receive the report not from yourself, but from the authorities abroad. In this case, it will cost you the evaded tax areas, the default interest, both just as in case of a voluntary disclosure, high costs of legal proceedings, in most cases high monetary fines, often another 100% of the evaded tax, but in severe cases even 3 times the avoided tax. Altogether, this may cost up to 5 times as much. This may even lead to you getting into high debts in order to settle these tax liabilities. In the worst case, you may lose everything. If you are not able to pay these liabilities immediately, you may have to proceed with emergency sales of real estate or financial assets far below their actual value. Quite often, this does not only mean a total loss in financial, but also in emotional terms. However, with a detailed analysis of your situation, you will avoid a lot of distress and save money. That's why it is so important to get individual and expert advice. Call me, I will order you my highly personalized but discreet service.